Hello, my name is Lance McDaniel. I'm here in downtown Oklahoma City for the State of Creativity Forum.
We've heard a lot about it, but it's our first time here, and
Excellent.
It's been just an amazing experience. I mean, so professionally produced, and met a lot of really interesting people. I love the fact that there's so many industries represented here, and we're happy to be, the representatives for the culinary arts.
So the original goal with this, with Creative Oklahoma, was what?
It was really to get Oklahoma noticed as a place for our people's creativity and innovation, as a crossroads of creativity in the country. This forum is all about education and networking.
Well, this is a great event whereby I was invited to talk about innovative ways of rebuilding the country. So since Rwanda has been 20 years after genocide, and we've done a tremendous work being creative and innovative in terms of rebuilding the nation. I was looking at the list of speakers, and I really could not wait to hear what they have to say, because our next challenge in Rwanda is, after being creative, after being innovative for the country, young people are so excited to live in the country, but you have to go beyond that. You have to really help them innovate, think, and create, and obviously implement. So I'm really looking forward to learn, at the same time to share what works for Rwanda.
Creativity means thinking of things in a new and fresh way.
Creativity. Good answer.
On being able to work with others to challenge their own thinking. That's one of the toughest pieces, I think, as we've engaged with government, and we see people who are mayors or governors who are saying, I want to be creative, I want to solve these problems, because we haven't been able to do it before in the way that we'd like to.
Because we really are trying to brand Oklahoma as a place where creative people live, where creative things happen in commerce, culture, and education.
I was a part of the committee of Creative Oklahoma that worked towards putting on the dynamic design, the installation that is behind me. For the past 9 months, we've been working towards making today super duper.
What brings you to the conference today?
Well, our students at Metro Tech helped with the artist in setting all the lights and all the string art in this forum here.
The strings is supposed to represent bridges, because the goal of the exhibit is building bridges.
You've done this, which is awesome. So what's the goal now that you get to just enjoy the conference?
Yeah, well, I want to be able to broaden my horizon, see other points of creativity from someone else's point of view, because to me, I only have my point of view. I hope that someone can explain what creativity is to them.
When you think of creativity, I think in simplistic terms is taking two things that don't necessarily relate and finding a way to combine them in a way that creates value.
There were a group of these firefighters who were caught, and this firefighter turned around and has no idea why. The others just took off running, and he set the grass on the ground in front of him on fire and lay down in it, and the fire swept over him. The interesting thing is, what happened in his mind that caused him to reach this impasse and say, well, I know all the strategies everyone told me, but what do I do now? How do we think outside of this box to get to the place we need to go to? And I think that's, to my mind, is the essence of creativity.
So what do you say to people who say that they're not creative? Because you've always been very creative. Like, you're a filmmaker.
There's no such thing. Everyone has a degree of creativity to them, and I think that here is one of the best places that anyone can go to discover that about themselves. And even if they are already considering themselves creative, then it definitely enhances that mindset in a lot of people. And for those who say they aren't creative, well, they will have their minds changed, certainly when they're here.
Everyone has something creative about them. You do creative things every day, and you have to look inside yourself and reevaluate what you're doing, because you're doing creative things. We all are. Maybe it's not our job, maybe it's not the primary act that we do, but creativity is, as Junie said last night, it's not about art, it's not about being able to paint. You can be creative in just about anything you do. Whether it's raking the leaves in the front yard, or how you wash your car, or what you do at work. And so just look inside yourself, it's there.
You know, there's just this gut feeling. It's almost an intangible thing. You know, when I fell into journalism, it was never easy in the beginning. You know, I was actually first on sports in Israel. So I was covering the World Cup soccer, and I know nothing about World Cup soccer. So it was really challenging, and it was very difficult, and every night I came home exhausted. But that exhaustion actually is very exhilarating in a way. And you know when you found your passion, because you just feel like every day you want to wake up and do what you're doing, and that's how I feel. I feel very blessed and very fortunate to be doing what I'm doing and to interface with people, whether famous or not. People are fascinating, and that's what we're going to learn here today, is that people are the core of our society. They're going to be the ones that, you know, tell the stories, and I'm fortunate to tell the stories about people who are making news.
People really know they find their niche when they're good at it and they enjoy doing it.
For me, being here is about collecting ideas and then pulling those pieces together. I think lots of time creative people are sometimes, you know, classified as crazy, and that's because they're reaching at a whole bunch of different things and pulling them all together, you know. So the Creativity Forum represents that. You know, we're bringing people from all walks of life. And today I stood here and showed my product, and people had new ideas I'd never thought of, and I've been doing this for 7 years, you know.
Well, you know, there's 1,200 interested parties here, and I think that'll be very exciting because, as you know, creativity is kind of a collaborative process. And so you get a bunch of people in the room, and all of a sudden the energy picks up, and you realize, hey, look, it'd be kind of cool. We're doing interesting things.
Creativity really was the beginning of our business, and with, you know, Cupcakes Only Bakery, and we really think that innovation and creativity are the key to, you know, starting new businesses, because that makes the marketing part easy. Because people are asking questions about what is this new idea, what is this new concept. You know, it started with the first Cupcakes Only Bakery, and then went on to our Sprinkles Mobile, the first cupcake truck, and our cupcake ATM. But it really is a huge part of what we do.
I was a speaker today, but I also participated by listening to many of the great speakers here today who talked about the importance of being innovative and being creative and creating your own independence and your own theory of how you want to go about your building your own world. And so this has been very, very educational and very uplifting.
What is the essence of it for you?
For me, it's when you bump up against this huge mountain, and it's a big obstacle, whatever that obstacle may be in your life, and you figure out a way creatively to go around that obstacle or go through that obstacle to arrange where your goal is. And you have to be able to think out of the box. Don't cut and paste and look at what other people have done or how they've done it. Think out of your mind and out of your box on how to be creative.
Learning and creativity is the same to me. I'm always learning, and the more that there is to learn about something, for me, the more that gives me room to be creative.
I had a student who did the biggest discovery in one of the viruses, and after 1 year he said everything failed. I said, that's good. That means you are really on the edge. And he actually broke the bank and came up with a gene discovery, which we could not have done if he had not applied a new technology. And it's the job of the professor to take their students to the areas which are cutting edge. I will say this is an excellent conference, and the people who are not here are missing out in every walks of life.
Well, I thought it went great. We, such a great group of people. Really exciting to be back in Oklahoma City and talk about what, our creative experiences, and hopefully spark something in some individuals here in Oklahoma. But happy to be here for such a great event.
I really hope, this is my third year of working with Creative Oklahoma, and I hope we can continue to grow. If we are in fact the state of creativity, how do I say this? Oklahoma to me is a blank canvas. You can do anything here, and it is open, so I challenge everyone, artists and those who may not think they're artists, to get involved, come to the forum and engage nonprofit, engage artists outside, and let's make this truly the state of creativity.
There's a lot to take back, especially, first of all, the knowledge, and as she said, every single thing, banking system, shops, and everything we have to take that back to Rwanda. But the first thing that we have to do is to see what works for us, because not everything here can work back in our country. So in our fields, like I'm a mechanical engineer, so I will look at what in my field, what can I go and implement in Rwanda. And others who are in fields like finance and business, I'm sure they will see in their fields what can they take to Rwanda.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We've had a fantastic experience at the State of Creativity 2015, and we look forward to hosting you next year right here in Oklahoma City.